Well folks, you know I said I sold the transit van. Well, I thought I'd take it down for an MOT. Don't forget, I've not looked at this underneath really for 2 years. It's failed the MOT on loads of major chassis rust. So I'm not going to sell it to the chap where I was going to sell it to. I'm going to take the hit on it, and I've actually scrapped it now. It's going to the garage who's actually looked at the MOT and done the MOT for me. So yeah, a lot of people said that the van was totally rusty. I know that. We was going to convert it to a camper van. That was basically for video purposes, not really for me as such, because we don't really use a sort of camper van, but I was going to do that for video purposes. I've had this van for about 5 or 6 years now, and in that time we've done loads of videos on it around the front welding, and a lot of people have learnt a lot of stuff. Plus I learnt welding on this transit van, so it's been a very good van to learn welding on. And as I say, we've not used it. We didn't really use it even when I had it, sort of thing, to drive around in. So it's been a good van for that purpose. All the work we've recently done on it now is now finished. I'm not touching it no more. It's gone. So I hope you've enjoyed the series on this transit van. It's helped a lot of people out. I get lots of feedback from people saying that they've watched the videos and they've repaired their own van on the strength of this when their vans come back as an MOT failure. So it's served its purpose. I didn't use it, and it's now been passed over to the garage who've done the MOT. They may even do the welding because they can get up on the ramp. You see, I haven't got a ramp. It needs someone to go underneath and to get the vehicle up in the air, basically, and that's not me. Plus I think I've done enough on this video series now anyway. So that's it, the transit's gone. We'll be moving on to the Triumph Acclaim next, so keep your eyes out for that one as well. See you in a minute. Right, I've dug this out again. I've taken that old Tecumseh lawnmower engine now out of the hover mower, the orange one which I found. So I thought I'd strip this Atco down now. And someone did mention that try and make it look authentic and try and keep the original cover. If I can transfer this cover onto that new engine, I obviously will do. So this is totally seized up. Let's have a look. Now again, I don't think you can probably see the state of the bore there. It may throw off, I don't know, but a lot of people have suggested that we soak it either in diesel or automatic transmission fluid or whatever. But yeah, I probably will do that, because these are very rare and hard to come by, these spares for these engines. But my theory is that it's not just the rings that have seized up, it'll be the crank as well, being in mind it's a 2-stroke engine and it's been open to the elements for probably many years. But I will strip it down, but first of all I'm going to have to take the handle off and get the engine off, and hopefully this will couple up to this newer Tecumseh engine. That's what I'm hoping anyway. But as you can see, this handle has suffered, by the way. It has broken off there, and I did get this replacement engine that come with that old one. I may be able to use this, I'm not too sure, but failing that I can always use maybe a part of that tube and actually repair that. I'm not sure, because this handle is a slightly different contour shape and I'd like to keep it original if possible. So let's start taking bits off now and see where we go. Right, okay, we got that handle mechanism off. That proved a little bit tricky, but it's a lot easier to manoeuvre now, as you can probably see. Right, I think what I've got to do now is to get the underside boss off if I can. As you can see, that's solid at the moment, so I'll have to dig this out, find out what sort of a fixing this is. As I say, I'm not too sure whether or not this is the same as the other one yet, but I don't know quite how it fits on there. And a lot of people did say you've got to be careful with these, because the aluminium boss there, as you can probably see, tends to corrode and it cracks the actual impeller, which it actually has done in this case on this one, and that can fly off and cause a lot of damage. So I probably won't be reusing this one, I'm not too sure, but as I say, I've got to get this impeller off, and I don't quite know at the moment how that comes off. Whether the bolt's been removed, maybe there was a bolt in there and the bolt's been taken out. I think that's probably the case, because I would imagine there's a bolt in there. All I can do is give it a bit of a dousing at the moment all around, and I can't actually see what holds this impeller on. This should now pull off, I don't know, but the chances are I'm not going to be able to use this again, so I may have to damage this impeller to get it off, because I need to get the engine off, you see, and the engine bolts, I don't know if you can see, actually just around the side there, and as I say, this has got to come off, so I might have to damage it. Yes, I know I should be using a chisel, but I might have to drill down the side of that, I'm not too sure yet. I'm hoping to make some leeway to get some penetrating fluid in there, but it's very hard to see where you're going with this, you know, because the way I'm thinking is that this plastic should actually pull straight off. I think there must have been a nut on there and maybe a collar that holds on there, because there's no way that this is being held on at the moment by what I can see, you know. Right. There we go. It might look a bit barbaric, but don't forget this part's never going to be used again, and we need it to gain access. So there's the state of that. And it's taking some cutting to get that off, but at least we've got access now to our engine bolts, because our main thing is we want to keep this deck intact, as you probably know. So all this is redundant under here, so I'm not worried about that whatsoever. But there's loads of rust and rot underneath here, so I'm just hoping I can get these bolts undone so I can preserve the deck. I'll just give them a bit of a squirt. I'm not saying that we're going to be able to undo them, but we might have to chisel these out as well, so just going to play it by ear and see how we go. As you can see, because this side we haven't got access, look. But I may need this bit here. So what I actually might do is try and undo these bolts here, which just release the motor, and I may keep this on here for the moment until I decide whether or not we can transpose this configuration onto here, or I'd like to really keep this bit if I can, because that retains the original look. So I don't know yet, we'll have to see. I'd say there was ½ inch. Yep, a ½ inch. Now let's get that on there. Again, these are probably going to strip, I would imagine. They're going to be rusted solid, aren't they? And I can't really heat it up because it's a plastic deck, you see. All I can do is to come underneath in here. That's where they actually come through, look. So all I can really do is lubricate them nuts there, if I can find them under all this. That's the thing, if you can get to both sides, you've got to really do this because you're just stripping threads otherwise. And what I'm going to actually do is I'll hold that, these are nuts on here, so I'll hold the other side and get a 1/2 inch, is it 1/2 inch? Socket on there, hopefully. And hopefully I can undo these, I'm not sure. Oh, I got it. There we go. This actually removes the engine from the deck without removing that black plate, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to zip along and do these, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, that's them 3 bolts out. So there's only 3 holding that engine in. This should separate it now. There we go. That's the bit we was after. So as I say, I've got this base there. I will have to remove that because I'm going to have to do it, obviously, either paint this, clean it up or whatever. But I want to retain the normal graphics if I can. If not, I'll have to do something about that. But this plate will obviously need replacing, or not replacing, repairing, and maybe even powder coating because this is an aluminium bracket. These two will have to come off. So yeah, we're very near now. So I can put this now to one side and get that ready for these. Get these brackets off. And let's just have a little look at the state of this engine. I don't think this is going to be recoverable. I mean, look at the crap that's come off of this. Look, I mean, there's a few a few snails in here. Look, but the base of it is, there's some other plate that was on there which is totally rotted away and disappeared. As I say, this boss, I don't really know what the score is with this. I may take the carb off to see if that's salvageable, but as for the actual engine itself, as I say, I don't think there's anything we're going to be able to do with this, to be honest with you. I think it's too far gone. These bolts here that hold this metal plate to the engine in here are obviously going to be so corroded, I'm never going to get them out, so they're going to break or snap whenever I try to do anything with that. So really, I think we can safely say that this has had it and it's beyond serviceability, to be honest with you. Even if we could break it free, I don't think it's going to be any good whatsoever. Too much work for what it's worth, because as I say, bearing in mind I found that for £10 and that's a running engine. Spending a whole lot of time on this is really going to be false economy, even though it's a bit of a hobby. I don't know whether there's any parts I can salvage off this, for example. Maybe the flywheel, as I say, maybe the carb. It's an old original part by the looks of it. And hopefully this one will be able to go straight on. It looks like these mounting brackets here for this plate, it looks like it's the same base of the engine because it's got the same pillars there, look. And obviously this one, I can get to them bolts nice and easily anyway. One thing I was a little bit concerned of was the length of the shaft coming out of the engine. If I just lay them or measure, I could actually measure from the base of the engine to the edge of the shaft, and they look actually pretty similar, to be honest with you, so I think we're going to be okay there. So there we go, that's totally redundant now. I will try and take the carb off and the flywheel maybe, if not I'm just going to let it go anyway. So we've made a start on this little Atco now, so hopefully I can get them brackets off and then we'll do some powder coating. I said I was going to do a powder coating video for you, and I don't know whether you saw that little toy which I've just restored on my Retro Hacks channel. That came out very well. I couldn't use the right colours, I didn't have them at the time of me doing the restoration, so I wanted to use the pinks and the yellows, which I didn't have. I've been onto Electrostatic Magic and they're sending me pinks and yellows as well as a candy as well, so we're going to try the candies out. And also some people wanted to know a bit more about the thickness of the paint when it lays down on any metal surface. Well, they've told me that the thickness is 3 thou, which is very, very thin. or it's something like 100, either 125 microns or 175 microns. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I will confirm that when I do the powder coating video this week as well. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here for now. I've got some mess to clear up. I've got to go down the shops anyway and buy some more stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed the update. Don't forget the transit van is now gone. We're going to be starting on the Triumph Acclaim very, very shortly, and I'm sorry to the person who was going to be buying it, but I couldn't sell it to him in that condition. It was totally rotten underneath, and as I say, I'll just let the garage keep hold of it, and they give me a lump sum like scrap value for it. They may even do the work, but he did show me when he took it to the MOT, it come back with a bag of rust about that big, where they was just gently tapping, and some of it was fixed chassis rust as well. So it would have needed some enormous plates on there. I couldn't obviously get to them because I didn't have a hoist. Plus, I think I've done enough on the Transit. It served its purpose well. It was a training vehicle for me to learn welding at the end of the day, and a lot of people have actually learnt from that as well, and that makes me happy. Anyway, thanks very much. See you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.